Okay, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of From the Threads with Ben.
And you're a banner. Come on, bro, you're a banner.
With Ben and Isaac. Okay, and today we have Joe Chia and his wife Melissa Deng here. Okay, before we continue on with the
But
podcast.
wait, disclaimer alert. The reason why we don't have video for this is because Isaac is shy, man. He looks bad today, so he chooses to not have video.
I think it's more like you look back, bro. Not me, man.
I look fly, bro, always.
Okay. Anyways, before we get to the podcast, we just want to congratulate you guys on your recent marriage.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more. How is marriage life now for you guys? Like, you know, like how is it different?
Maybe Mel can tell it better. Explain it better.
It feels the same, I think. Yeah, I mean, because we have been together and working together for 5 years, coming 6 this year. So, feeling wise, it feels the same. But of course, legally, on paper.
On paper, we are husband and wife, but I mean, I think it's also good that to know someone or somebody gonna support you, you know,
throughout
to do what you like. Yeah, always and forever. Yeah.
So when you started your business, did you did you start it alone or did she join after that?
I always want to have a partner that I can, you know, share the interests or talk about work and life together. I always wanted that.
I think your parents were like that.
My parents was like that. So they have a little shop in Kelantan and they do whatever they like together, business together. So I think somehow inspired me as well. And I think Melissa joined me 6 months after I started the first chapter, and she was
So it's been like since chapter 2.
yeah, since chapter 2, and yeah.
So for chapter 1, you were like sewing still.
Solo
Writing
still,
solo.
yeah. That's right. Yeah.
That's good. And the way Joe Chia talked just now, it sounds like we are running a Love FM, man. Right? Welcome to 87.5. You know?
Please have the songs.
It's a fresh take, man, from other sellers.
Okay, so for the audience that do not know who you are, maybe you can give a small introduction into what do you exactly do and what's Joe Chia, the brand, is all about, and Melissa as well. Yeah, you know, like tell us a little bit more. What do you guys do?
I'm Joe, and I'm a creative director, and also founder, designer of the label Joe Chia. Yeah.
Yes.
And
I'm Melissa, and I'm the managing director for Joe Chia.
Oh wow.
yeah.
We have a power couple in the house, yeah? Yeah.
So usually I would do more to like a creative job and to liaise with factories and, you know, a little bit. And Melissa's will handling the operation parts, like the timeline, the schedules, and also
stockists and
the stockists, to liaise
productions
with
and all.
stockists, yeah, and a touch of productions too, yeah.
So how did it all started, man? Like for those listeners that don't know, Joe is from Kelantan.
Yeah.
And so did you like got inspired from there, then you came to KL, or did you came to KL first and only got inspired by the scene when you started the brand and stuff like that?
I think I started to know, because the words fashion is not very common in Kelantan. So I don't know much about the fashion, but I do involved in some subculture. For example, I used to do breakdance. I used to do play basketball, a little bit of skateboard, but I'm not very good in that. And I grew up looking at punk, really cool punk, hanging out in the bus stop, bus stations. So, but I didn't know what fashion back then. And I only started to discover fashion when I was studying the One Academy, and I went to Kinokuniya, flipped my first magazine, fashion magazine ever. It's like, wow, this is something else. And
How old were you at that time?
I think after high school was 18, 19.
Oh, okay.
I think should be 19. I think Then I was like, wow, actually, fashion you can express in so many ways, and not just commercial brands that we always heard about. So I was like, okay, maybe I should do fashion. that's the because and I have difficulties on the course
So
during
you dropped out from that course?
yes. So I dropped out. So I dropped out from the One Academy and I pursued my fashion study in Raffles.
Okay.
I see. That was like how long were you in the One Academy?
1 year.
Wow.
I
okay.
think
So that's
I
1
think
year.
less than 1 year.
Not easy, man. It's
I
not
think
easy, man.
it's less than 1 year. Yeah, I think
I
2
see.
semesters or something like that. And back then in Kelantan, we have a lot of bundle and vintage shop.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
And interesting things is my parents always brought me to vintage shop instead of shopping mall. They would be like, oh, this is better quality, is cheaper as well. And then you see, so I think it built kind of very unconventional thoughts in my head during that time. I start to do DIY, but I don't know anything about fashion, like I start to DIY my jeans to make it drop crotch, to ask my mom to sew it into a bag so I can carry to the high school and things like that.
This is something, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give a shit, man.
Yeah.
So you see, like people when they're young, they complain like, oh, why you buy me like second-hand clothes and shit. Now everyone like go bundle hunting, man. It's like bundle is a thing now. It's like we used to hate it back then. Now we're like, oh, so crazy about it. It's like long socks, man. Or people want the shorter socks as possible. Last time, now everyone want to wear long socks, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Then what about you, Melissa? So what's your background like before meeting your current husband, Joe, and everything?
I studied science actually before that, but I always knew that I wanted to do something more in the creative part. So after my A-levels I did science. After that I
Why
went
science,
to...
though? It's like a huge difference from what you're doing now.
Yes, my family is quite a family of high achievers.
Asian things,
Yeah, so my sister, she did chemistry as well. Yeah, so I tried to follow their footsteps, I think initially. But in A-levels, I realized that I've always liked art. I didn't really know which part of it, but after that, I decided to go to Raffles. Yeah, so I started with fashion design as well. Yeah, so the background is quite similar. Yeah.
Did you all met in Raffles?
I met her after graduate.
Yeah, he's a senior, so I'm a few years to junior. Yeah.
So young.
I see.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but I think like in fashion in Malaysia here, I think everyone is somewhat related to Raffles, right? Isn't it? Yeah,
Raffles. Because I think there's
probably
a few.
Not that many. I think at that time as well.
Yeah, at that time not
Now
that
probably have a
many
few
fashion
more.
school. And right now, the One Academy they have fashion course as well. But back then, just a few.
There's always Lim Kok Wing. or
Lim Kok
Raffles.
Wing, the One Academy, or they used to have.
Lim Kok Wing and Raffles, the famous fashion.
Yeah. That's right.
But I hear a lot of bad stories about Lim Kok Wing though.
Yeah, but it's a fashion podcast.
Okay. It's not about Lim Kok Wing, right? Isn't it? Yeah.
No gossip.
No cursing. Okay, so just getting more into your brand. So what would you guys say, like, what is the style of Joe Chia? Like, what, maybe in 3 words, what summarizes Joe Chia's branding right now?
I think minimal with a twist, subtle yet elegant. I think that's
Black.
Black.
Yeah, black is
Yeah, man.
elegant.
I think black is always like the first thing people think about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Black
Yes.
is always the first thing people think about it. Yeah. I think we work with black a lot because I think we tend to put a lot of focus into the constructions. And I really like when I first discover a fashion, Jun Takahashi or Rei Kawakubo is the Yohji Yamamoto is the one feel like Rick. There's a few designers that are looking up to, and of course to practice my drafting or the construction skill as well. Then I really love how the things can be construct from the 2D pattern and to the 3D pattern kind of stuff.
Yeah, so more focus onto the silhouettes and the cuts, and also the small details.
So like you get like the color out of the way because like using black, so you focus more on other stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
That's dope.
That's very similar to Yoji Yamamoto.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, I mean, I first knew about Joe Chia when I was still in London. And I don't know why, somehow the ad popped up. It's like, Joe Chia. I was like, okay. I was like, damn, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, back then I used to have the mindset that, hey, Malaysia, you know, cannot make it, you know? Then I was like, hey, wow, this is something else, you get what I mean? I've loved Yoji Yamamoto, the way he cuts and sewn. And when I saw the clothes, I was like, oh shit, okay, Malaysia has it now. That's great, man. And yeah, that's, so, do you think black would still be the main focus moving forward, or you guys would probably try like something else differently? Like I can see now,
like khaki colors, white, like other than black.
Yes, correct.
I think actually we prefer the very neutral tones. Yeah, we don't like. I mean, personally, I don't like too shocking or too contrast kind of color. I love very neutral and earth tone. Yeah, so we actually always explore colors since the chapter 1, 2, 3, but
I think black always stuck to people.
Yeah.
We've always done a little bit of color with every collection, but I think now we're venturing a little bit more into a wider range.
A wider
and a fuller
range
of
the
colors.
Like
So we'll
different
see.
kind of grey, different kind of taupe color as well. So
Maybe navies. And
navy as well. Yeah.
So speaking of chapters, like you guys, I know right now you guys do according to the seasons or the weather, like SS and FW.
Yeah.
But back then you guys used to do in I mean, I think you still do it in chapters.
Yes.
So what's the inspiration behind like doing it in sort of chapters?
Instead
Yeah.
of like SS 19,
Yeah.
19.
Mel, maybe you explain that. I think we start from chapters because, of course, every season. I mean, we introduce the collection by chapters and we launch it according to the season.
Yes.
So the chapters is because I think it's good to trace or recall our memories or our things that go through towards the short period of time, you know, from the first chapter or second chapter and until now, how much we have grown, and we always recall our
what happened in which chapter.
We always like to ask, do you remember the chapter 6? What do we do?
How was it like?
Do you remember when is when we launching let's say chapter 10, you know, things like that. So I think it's good for us. It's like our little story, you know, the journey as well.
I see. And I guess like by saying it is a chapter, you can just do a jacket when it's, say for example, it's spring summer, right? Isn't it? Like you don't have to follow, you just have to follow your storyline. Is that what it is?
Well, I think at the end of the day, clothing needs to fit the weather. So whether we talk about chapters and all, we still do follow the weather in terms of summer or winter, because clothes do have to suit they are supposed to adapt to our lifestyles. So yes, we could launch a jacket, say in which chapter and things like that. It's possible, but but currently we still do through the
following it
weather.
through the weather.
Correct.
I see. Okay, so now I think, if I'm not mistaken, you guys have sort of moved your focus away from KL. May we know like what's the reason, and do you guys still show in KL Fashion Week? I don't think you guys do anymore, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
But instead focusing on wholesale sort of shows in Paris, right? Is there a reason why? Like we just want to know like how and what's the difference right now?
I think coming out from like design background, you want to look for the right directions for the business when you first coming out, and you're not sure, what is the best for you. We start to put more focus after the first trade show in Milan, 2014, and our first trade show in Milan, and we so humble and so grateful to have the first 8 stockists around the world. So, and after that, it make us see the possibility of expanding and getting better, improve ourselves to challenge a different market, the wider audience or different market. And starting from 2014,
we decided to put our
kind of
focus
like
a bit more.
Straight away from
put the focus like 120% into that.
I see.
I see. Kind of,
What? So back to it again. Also, so what do you think is the problem with KL Fashion Week that that you guys wouldn't like instead putting your focus here anymore?
I think the target market is very different. Target market is very different, and also the season come very different too. Malaysia, sadly, don't have a winter.
We
we only have one
changes
summer.
are not that big.
all year, bro.
Actually, we got 4 also lah.
Not raining.
Hot, very hot, very hot.
We got Genting and Cameron Island.
We got Genting.
Yeah. So
Changes are not so big because of the weather, I think, as well. So fashion doesn't change as fast.
correct compared to overseas. And another main reason we switch. Another main reason is I think Malaysia don't have the wholesales how to say routine yet.
Okay.
For the boutique or
Yes.
for to support local designer, for example, during back then,
But you all had disappear, right?
Yes.
Yes,
We
correct.
had disappear and it's disappeared now. but that's the progress for me to really understand or
The retail
know what
business is very different.
exactly, and the difference between the retail and what we really good at and what we really want to focus at. Retail is very different. Retail, you have to think of what promotions every week,
Making sure there's
discount,
merchandises,
making sure
visuals.
that merchandises and things like that. For us to taking care both part is almost impossible because one is a daily work
Routine.
and daily routine, and another one is you have to surprise or you have to impress the buyer every season. You can't take away this time and you do it last minute and you can't impress people. You get what I mean? So the buyers will understand the clothing and things like that. So we finally give up the disappear. Yeah.
So it finally disappeared.
And it's disappeared right now.
So was it like a leap of faith for you to like close down the store and like go fully online and overseas stockists at the time? Like, what are your concerns back then before making the decision?
I think we started our Milan Trade Show, I think, even when we were doing Disappear, our first Disappear. So it wasn't that to say that it was much different from us to jump into another one, but because we already had a base at the other end. But like we said, because there's just so much that a person can do, so that's how we decided that we just had to sacrifice one for another, so to speak lah.
I see. So before
I see.
Long straight of thought right there. So okay, before Disappear and back then, like before Joe Chia started, I remember you worked in Singapore for a little while. So what were you doing back there? Because I tried searching high and low, couldn't find a single thing. He's a ninja, man. He's a ninja.
I actually didn't work in Singapore.
Oh.
In fact, I offered a scholarship from Raffles and to study in Singapore.
In Singapore.
Yeah, to dip my degree 1 year in Singapore, and
Degree in what? No?
degree in
Also
fashion design.
Fashion design. I see.
Yeah. So we did a lot of research, a lot of paperwork, and it's very different compared to diploma. So yeah, and after that I came back and I worked as a assistant stylist. Yeah, and I think during that time I'm not sure what to do as well, and I never planned to have a own brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I end up working in a boutique called Never Follow Suit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Bangsar.
Yeah, in
as well.
Bangsar, yeah.
So one day the owner just I'm the only staff, only promoter, cleaning, whatever, serve customer, checking out stock and things like that. So I think that's the time when I learn most of the things, what works, what kind of cut is better for customer, body shapes and price, maybe price point as well, and things like that.
I see.
And then one day the owner, Victor Go, he just came to me and he said, "Oh, Joe, you study fashion before, right?" I said, "Oh yeah." So something our shop lack of clothing to sell. I said,
Wow.
Okay, let's try that.
Let's try that.
Yeah, so it's a very tough life. I mean, like very I worked really really hard during that time. I have to overnight in the shop or sometimes sleep in the car, and then the next morning I need to purchase the fabric quickly at Kamda. Before they open, before the gate open, the staff know me already. It's like, come in, mari. So I have to make my decision quick because the shop is opening at 11 a.m. So I only have 1 hour to drive back from Kamda to Bangsar. So yeah, I think that's where trained me the most and shaped me to who I am right now. Yeah, then I start to sew my own clothes, and piece by piece. Yeah, so cut, sew, and design by myself, piece by piece, and yeah.
There you go, Joe Chia, the brand.
Yeah. Back then, I remember I still thinking what name I should put. I don't want to put Joe Chia,
Did you
no,
actually
it's not.
sell your stuff in the shop back then?
Yes.
So
But
what brand is it? Like,
it's Joe Chia,
It's still
but it's
Joe
very
Chia.
sad to sell. You get what I mean? Because you put so much effort, and of course customer behavior will be like, oh, can I have a little bit discount, or or things like that. You'll be like, you bring tears to your eyes. It's like, oh my god, I can't do this anymore. It's hurt, because people don't know you actually sold it. You hurt your hand, whatever, things like that. And so I decided to just quit, and I focus on creating a workshop. Where I get this idea was I also talked to my mentor, so somehow Kun Hui, the designer from Malaysia, and he kind of like showed me the possibility of what else a designer can do or can achieve, and he showed me the platform in Paris, Tranoi, and I said, okay, maybe we need to buy a ticket to pay a visit, what's going on out there, and to explore a little bit, to research a little bit.
That's how we started.
That's all we started. Yeah.
So that's how you secured your showcase in Milan, right? Is it?
After we traveled, then we decided to join the first trade show in Milan. Yeah. So it's like, Paris is too expensive.
Yeah, Milan.
We should start from Milan.
Yeah,
let's try and see what's the response first. And of course we work really hard, like to make sure the quality or the finishing is up to the standard, the fabrication as well. Then work really hard for the branding, you know, how
Timeline
we should
executions.
timeline executions, you know, how we can have the better buttons, how we can have the better, you know, start from a very small things.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I see. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing like going to Paris for the very first time must be like crazy for you guys, right? So like, what do you guys feel like? Oh shit, you know, like okay, now like okay, I've got some clothes here, but maybe I should keep it first. You know, like
The first time is crazy. I remember
It
the
was so
first.
intimidating, I felt.
Yeah.
Because we went into the showrooms and the showrooms, and then of course you have most of the biggest designers and labels there, and you look at their clothes and you see their designers there, and you feel like, wow, kind of not on my thing. Yeah, and you go out, you be like, I need to make it work harder, you know, and we need to make it work, and we look at each other, we're like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, gratefully we have the first 8 stockists from Milan, and when we first joined Paris, we were so ambitious that time. It was like, wow, okay, let's bring the hangers, let's bring you know like steamers, because we need
you want
to
to save
present
money
it.
as well, you know, at that
Drove
time.
all the way from KL to there.
Hangers and steamers, I think we loaned there.
Yeah, we loaned
Yeah, we
that.
had to loan, so we had to
Yeah.
carry them.
Yeah.
We were carrying them like
But-
running after buses and all.
Yes.
Yeah.
But back then it's really hard because we have a very limited of amount of the budget that we can spend. We actually, I think, we left like 2 figures.
Yeah, sometimes
after
we left
joined
2 figures.
We
of
decided
helpers.
to join the. We paid the showroom and everything. We left like 2 figures. You know, you need to budget everything.
Oh God.
So
Yeah, living on bread and
yeah.
Nutella.
Yeah. That's our life, and the first time to Paris, I remember this funny story is we didn't realize Paris apartment have no lift.
Yes.
Yeah,
No
and
lift.
it's a cold
It was
winter,
winter.
Yeah.
and we have like a 40 kg luggage bag, 2 40 kg luggage bag, plus the small bags.
And
I
the
don't know what is
hangers
it.
and the steamers and all
and
that.
hangers,
Uh-huh.
mirrors, and the steamers, and we have to carry up to the 6th floor.
It's those winding staircase.
Yes.
And only me
Yeah.
and her is like, oh my, I think almost got my asthma like, because it's so cold, you know, and it's so
Yes.
dry, and it's like, oh, you didn't expect that. So I think, it's
That was good
it's
times,
funny
yeah.
to think back. Even now we still do some hard work, you know, like packing and
Yeah, we
things
still
like
do
that.
the same thing, I
We
think.
still
Not
do
much
the
has
same thing,
changed that much.
but our experience. But I think outsiders might think, you know, oh, Joe,
Very
you know,
glamorous.
yes. I assume
You
that.
don't know the struggle behind, man.
Yeah.
That's
That's
Until
right.
this podcast come out.
So I'm guessing the next time you go to Paris, you look for rooms that don't have 6th floor, right?
Yes.
Now we track already.
Check
Yeah, now
the
we
apartment
check.
whether they have lift or not.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
Yes.
This is advice.
But
Yeah.
was the entire like experience like did it paid off in the
It's-
end or you felt
It's worth it. It's
Yeah,
worth it. For
it's
sure.
worth it, and I think of course there's a moment is up and down, you know. There are moment ups and down. So I'm very lucky. I think we are very lucky that we get passed through the
Yeah,
tough
we managed to
moment
get
as well.
through
We
it.
managed to get through it as well.
Yeah.
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 How
I
many
think
years was that? Yeah? How many years of like doing that before like it really like okay, now it's like a little bit better now.
Before you get to the
Yeah,
comfort.
yeah. Before you get the
Comfort
past the
zone.
6th floor thing.
I think I kind of feel like I only feel more, I don't know, like more everything more
At ease.
under control.
Yes.
Starting from last year.
Yeah, last year. I think middle of last year.
Yeah, 2018. It's
Wow.
like everything still.
Yeah. So I think before that it was
before
like
that was
4
still
5 years.
Yeah, 4-5 years. I mean, trying to survive, surviving, fighting, crawling every day, you know.
Yeah.
But now still, but we maybe focus in the different vision as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like different vision bigger goals or something like that. Yeah.
I see. So
Yeah.
what is the focus right now for Joe Chia? Like what region right now? Like, I remember before we start the podcast, we talked about Hong Kong a little bit.
Yeah.
Is like Asia, like right now that market you guys are conquering as well?
It's very hard to point a region. I think we have stockists in about 15 countries, 40 stores.
Wow.
Yeah. So in Europe we have say Germany, Amsterdam, also Japan. I think we picked it up last year. So we have about 10 stores
In Japan.
Tokyo,
In
Tokyo
Tokyo.
and
Wow.
Osaka
Good.
itself.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you say you already make it comfortable last year. I don't
Yeah.
believe now, man.
Yeah, trying.
It's actually a long journey. It's actually a very okay. You should
Yeah.
continue. No, I think the focus will still be the making the good stuff, making
Yeah, I
the
think it's
good
important
clothes.
for us to make good clothes,
Yeah,
having quality
yeah.
clothes.
I think in terms of marketing and business side, we kind of have a different vision where we think if you create good things and
Things will
original
follow.
and you put effort into it, the buyers will see.
Yeah.
The buyers will know. Yeah, and people will know. So I think right now our focus is still on the products itself. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everything else will follow.
Yeah, then everything else will follow. Yeah.
That's great, man. I'm really happy to hear like this success story. You know.
I don't think anyone ever heard of
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
For the audience that do not know, and for this session we do not have a camera, right? Just now at the part that we were talking about what do you call whether have Joe Chia made it. He was already like,
Yeah.
he's like, dude, we made it, man.
Because I heard like badass, you know. Yeah.
Or will
yeah,
you like
yeah.
ever like continue expanding your brand here in Malaysia? Or you don't see that here is a strong market at all?
I think we are still looking for how to say, the suitable way to
Penetrate
expand. Yeah. Or still.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure that out. I think, of course, we definitely want to come
I
back
mean,
to.
I'm from Malaysia. Definitely
Yeah.
want to have
Yes.
something cool, for the Malaysian friends or kids as well. But we are still figuring out, what else we can bring to Malaysia,
bring back to
and
Malaysia and contribute
or,
back. Yeah.
interview like this. I mean, I'm more than happy to share and things like that.
Yeah.
And of course, to seeing the scene growing for the past few years, event like Sneakerla and things like that is pretty awesome, man. It's like, wow, okay, we are improving.
Moving, yeah.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
growing,
we are
it's
growing
growing.
as well. So I think it's a very good start. Yeah, it's a very good start. I hope we can see more and more, and we can create more things as well in Malaysia. Yeah, definitely.
That's true. I think the Malaysian audience needs a little bit more education.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
a little bit more education. Yeah, it's not just streetwear. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of art, fashions, or music, I think I grew up in a very I mean I know nothing about art music. You don't really have a specific, this is pop music, or this is R&B, or this is, for example, your family won't tell you this. You get what I mean? Like it's very how to say, surface kind of just from your feelings, okay. Then I think Malaysia definitely need more education or sharing section like this.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And showcase like more different kind of styles.
Correct.
I remember I went to Chinese New Year just happened, right? So I went to Isetan with my cousin.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, check out this designer Joe Chia. Then he just said, why the pants?
No, I get made fun of, man. Like,
Yeah.
when I drop pouch pants, my mom will be like, hey, you
Yeah.
shit in your pants.
You very pampers,
Yeah, and you have to explain to them, no, this is fashion. You don't know one lah. You don't know one lah, okay?
You know what?
So you it's like you very hard to even
People
think of
understand.
words to
Express.
tell them or
Yes,
express to
correct.
them. But this is fashion, like you don't know, like this is art, like you don't know, like. So they'll be like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know fashion, you know.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
but I think we need to have more event to
Promote.
let them to you
Because
know.
I think it's our responsibility as well for people who create
Correct,
these things
correct.
to explain it to those who don't know,
Mm.
so they understand.
Or what we
better.
try to express and
Yeah.
what is good about these items,
Mhm.
things like that. Yeah.
Only event I can think of is about KL Fashion Week. The people will dress up damn like over the board just for that one
Yeah.
week.
Mm.
Just to take pictures. outside.
Do you know what? Like, I'm sorry to say lah, but like, I've seen the feeds. That was
They're trying too hard, man. It's like
yeah, that was some whack feeds. Yeah.
That's the only fashion event
Yes,
in
correct.
Malaysia.
Yeah, sadly.
So
but it's
you have to
at
go
least
all
something.
out. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once a year.
Once a year, some
Once
more,
a
you
year,
know?
right? Yeah, once a year.
To celebrate fashion, you get what I mean?
At least it's something like at least
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But I wish that it could be a little bit better.
Yeah,
it could be a little
definitely,
bit better.
mm.
Yeah. So okay, like back to your clothes, and just now I was mentioning like the style and everything to my cousin, and I noticed your clothes are quite genderless. I mean, not saying that you are riding the trend or whatsoever, but
Yeah.
nowadays a lot of people are also doing like more gender fluid kind of clothing. Like, do you guys kind of like chance upon it, or is more like, okay, now like this is what Joe Chia is. We're gonna be doing like genderless clothes to begin with. Yeah.
Actually, we start from doing menswear, of course.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and since the beginning, I realized we have
Women,
women
many
or
women.
ladies who like to carry and feel confident to wear our clothes as well. So back then, during maybe 3-4 years ago, we used to have this tag. You know, men's. So it's explain the unisex. This is a unisex piece. Yeah. So, but I think we didn't tend to trying to do a unisex collection, but we just trying to design something towards our aesthetic, and
Yes.
it's very nice to have a woman's customer find confidence.
Yeah,
in
but a lot of
clothes,
times
yeah.
I think it inspires us as well, because when women wear the same clothes as a man, of course the fall and the silhouette is very different. Yeah, but as we say, in the end of the day, it's not that we are trying to do unisex clothing. I think because at the end of the day, men's and women's, the body font is very different.
Yes, correct.
So that's why there are clothes for men and that's why there are clothes for women. But we are still studying that part as well. So yeah,
Trying
we'll
to find
see.
the balance
Yeah,
in between.
yeah, that's right.
So for Joe, name us 3 designers that your favorite designers that inspire you the most.
I thought I just mentioned already.
yeah.
Of course, Yohji Yamamoto,
Yes.
Rick Owens, Ray Kakubo, that's all.
Very
I think
cool.
that's the top
Yeah.
3.
Margiela,
Yeah, or Margiela, Mason Martin Margiela, or Jun Takahashi,
Oh, that's a lot,
We
man.
go on and on.
or Issey Miyake's.
Issey Miyake is
Yeah.
so underrated, bro.
Yeah,
So
I know, right?
underrated, yeah.
Yeah, the pleats collection
Oh,
is amazing. It's so amazing. The calculations,
Yes.
drafting, construction.
easy at all,
It's
yeah,
not
it's
easy
not
at
as
all.
simple.
It's
Yeah.
not easy as you think. Like just fold. You know?
Hey, but I find it hard to wash though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it really hard to wash. Yeah, like, I mean, it don't last that long. So it's a shame.
I think designers. I think most designers know their problems, and I never come across a Issey Miyake hard to wash or things like that. But I'm sure they know. Yeah, and I think they are still looking for a better way, better material, or seeing what kind of technology can help
Yes.
Yeah.
to improve the production as well and things like that. And you'll be amazed to see how the production evolved from the past and right now. You don't need a seamstress, and you can print one t-shirt out, or you can sew a t-shirt out without a person.
Yes,
you
correct.
so I believe it can be better and better.
Yeah, the pleats
It
collection,
will be
right?
better and
Correct.
better.
Yeah.
And it's a shame only the women's one is the collection is bigger in Pavilion. Like the men's one is not here. It's in Club 21 lah, but like nah.
Not that big.
Yeah, not that big.
Whoever listen to this this conversation,
yeah.
please bring more
Bring more,
menswear.
bring more menswear.
It's
Yeah.
a
Bring more
hint.
menswear.
Yes, because if not, we have to buy online, man.
Yeah.
we have to buy online. So what about you, Melissa? Like, what's your favorite like designers, like top 3 that you look up to all the time?
Wow. I think quite similar, no?
I
Yeah,
think
quite
we
similar.
kind of
Like the same.
respect. We try to study every design. I mean, not study, but try to understand what's the aesthetic and what is the message from every designer.
Yes.
And I think even though the designer with the
Yeah, so it's like even if they are our peers, I think like we say, because every designer, every creative person, they have their own train of thoughts and they have something to bring to the table that is different from every other person, and
Yes,
that's why
correct.
they are there. So for us, it's very difficult to pinpoint to say who is
Yeah,
it,
that's
but
my
favorite.
there's always something to learn and to be inspired by someone else.
even from Malaysia or we don't limit that, you know. Yeah, we just respect and try to understand what they trying to achieve
Express
and try to
and-
express. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what about Malaysia? Like, who do you think is up and coming that we all and the audience here should know about?
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
I think Malaysia have a very interesting young designer growing up. But the main thing is I think Malaysia designers, the problems with Malaysia designer is the production problems.
yes, correct.
Yeah. I think if we didn't have this issue, we will have a lot of creative
People.
creative people. I would not consider myself the most creative person
Yeah.
or designer in Malaysia. There are
Tons, I mean,
tons of
you talk about
designer-
Manchin, you talk about Moto,
you talk about Manchin,
John
Moto,
Liang.
Jonathan Liang,
Yeah.
Tunku Shami, you know, Izzati, or a lot of I think friends
Yes.
or classmates, you know. I think it's more is very outstanding.
Yes, correct.
But the shameful part is the
Production.
and that, of course, the execution and things like that.
Yeah, because you
So-
can't do it on your own, you know. You
Yeah.
need to have a team to support you
Yeah.
in a sense
Yeah.
if you want to make it to the next level and
Yeah.
becoming a creative designer
You can't
itself.
cut and sew by yourself, you know, forever or
Everything will be outsourced, right?
correct.
Yes.
And outsource, we don't have a real experienced manufacturer here in Malaysia too. Or maybe you just want to add 2 more seams on the t-shirts to make it fitter, and maybe the auntie will tell you, oh, impossible to do that.
Yeah, why
know,
you want
be
to
like-
add 2 more seams?
Yeah.
You know,
So your manufacturer is overseas, right?
I used to do my own manufacturer in
Oh,
Pudu
okay.
as well.
Oh,
In a small workshop.
Then it turned out to the same issue where I have disappeared. You know, if you take care of the production and you
It's
design at the
very
same time,
difficult to-
is
really tiring.
really
Yeah.
tiring. Yeah.
Well, at least we share something in similar with Joe Chia. We are based in Pudu as well.
Yay!
It seems like
Pudu is a
is
cool
like
area,
the
lah. Yeah.
OG things.
OG things, man. Yeah.
And the reason why we have our workshop in Pudu is because of course I used to have very limited cash flow, and I don't want to invest so much in machinery, and just happened that Pudu, I mean the workshop, the unit that I ran right now
It's above
is
sewing
above
shop.
sewing shop.
Showing supply shop.
Yeah, so they have
okay.
like a buttonhole machine, blah blah blah, things like that.
So it's
I was like,
convenient.
yeah, it's convenient. It's more
convenience.
convenient for me. Yeah, so
That's good.
That's the story. Why Pudu? I want to be in Bangsa too. I mean, right? Or
Yeah.
KLCC or
No lah, I think, but after a while, you know, when we talk about I want to move and things like that, we still like Pudu lah.
yeah. Then after a while, you kind of get used to it, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
and I like the routine already, you know,
Yes,
kai
correct.
fan.
Yeah, behind rojak at the side.
Yeah, rojak at the side, and then or breakfast maybe ban mi or
Yeah.
kolong mi like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I think Pudu also has some kind of flavor as well, like inspirations. Like I used to hate like working in Pudu, but right now I start to like enjoy it. Like see like
Yes,
okay, you got
yes.
different individuals coming in.
Yeah.
That's true, bro. I mean,
He was like, no, it's very interesting.
It's
because-
still very ratchet to me.
it's still very ratchet. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's the interesting part. I mean,
It has
it's very
flavors lah.
interesting. Yeah.
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 Okay, so Masses is a sneaker company. Not sneaker. I mean, our focus is mainly sneakers. So you guys
Streetwear.
also, streetwear sneakers, right? And so recently, not recent. I think probably the last
It's
2
been a while,
years.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys had a hand in Reebok, right?
Mm.
That shoe was good though. That shoe
Oh,
was really good.
thanks,
So
thanks.
how did that
Heard it out,
collaboration?
bro. Heard it out, all black.
Anyways, so how did that collaboration came about, and like why collaborate with Reebok, and how did that brand like sort of correlate with Joe Chia and the branding and everything?
Who approached who first?
Yeah, who approached who first? Yeah.
I think we started with small collaborations with Sue, DJ Sue,
Yes, DJ Sue.
and Reebok. So we have like a mini event launching.
We did a bomber.
Yeah, we
bomber
did a
jacket.
bomber jacket. You know, as a not selling items. Yeah, not selling items. So it's kind of like want to. So after the project, I think we all want to push the, you know, the collaboration to another
Level.
Yeah, another stage. So we
So,
think of
yeah.
the iconic Palm Furry, and so we try to work on from there, and then we think. I mean, we have crossover come abroad too.
Oh,
It's
yes,
like,
yes, yes,
Oh,
crossover.
let's do this because I'm not from a retail background. You know, I can design, but maybe crossover can do the, you know,
Sales.
sales and selling part. So yeah, and
Yeah.
it took us 2 years to
To design the shoe.
to
Yeah.
Wow.
complete the project. Yeah, right.
Correct, because we had to
Yeah.
go back and forth. I think
Exactly.
the Reebok headquarters was in US at that time, so we had to send it back and then getting
And
the next
get the-
sample and then changing a little bit and sending back
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
So it was a very long process.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
really long process, but I mean the outcome is really good. I'm really happy, and until today, people still asking me, "Hey,
Yes.
do you still have new pairs?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot change my shoe right now. I mean, if I they
Yeah.
got used to
Yes.
it, and the comfort of it as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
because the thing with Reebok, the Palm Furry is that the longer you wear it, the more comfortable it is.
Yes.
yeah,
correct.
yeah.
So-
and the leather becomes softer, and yeah.
Sounds
yeah.
like a sponsored post, man.
Reebok, hashtag.
So
Yeah.
what are the difficulties like working with a big brand like that? Like is like you mentioned that sending back and forth US, right? Isn't it? Besides that, is there any other difficulties like working with such a big established brand?
We all did a collab with UNIQLO as well, right?
Yes.
Yes,
remember.
that was before.
That was
That was
before.
underrated, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was underrated.
So much
Yeah.
attention for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I think when I
Much
first
before.
started, and I know nothing about I mean how to
Yeah.
really push a product or how to really market it or maybe spread the words, you know. So one day I just received an email from Japan, UNIQLO. I said, "Oh, want to do a collaborations
For
or
UT.
for UT." So I said, okay. They explain very clearly, like, okay, how many design you want to do.
What is
and-
the format? I mean,
Yeah.
which part can you design of
Which
the
part
t-shirt
can you-
Oh.
itself?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
limited to a certain part.
Correct. So yeah, then I was
Interesting.
like, wow, let's do it. You know.
Yeah.
Then I also use a lot of Malaysia element like wow.
Yes, correct, I
Yeah,
remember.
like
Yeah.
wow bulans, the motif of the wow, and you know some hidden message from me as well. So yeah, I think we did 2 seasons with
Yeah,
them.
those 2 seasons,
Two
yeah.
seasons in total, like maybe 20 design roughly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And then they sold it all over the world
Yes,
as
and
well.
sometimes we still see
People wearing it on the streets.
yeah. It's like okay.
And I think that's the greatest joy of a designer, right?
Yeah,
Walking
yeah,
on the
yeah.
streets and then like you see your design, it's like, oh shit, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's wearing.
Yeah, check him out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like an achievement for you to get a collab? Like, oh, oh shit, it's a huge thing for me.
Definitely is a huge thing, and the joyful part is how you actually, I mean, you understand or you learn something from the project. You know, you work with different skill of company, then you learn definitely different skill sets or different kind of things as well, and you of course you put more effort and times to study the brand, you know, then you gain more knowledge too. So I think collaboration is pretty cool.
So will we be like seeing any new or upcoming collab?
We are going to Japan soon. To prepare to prepare collaborations with a Japanese brand.
Oh shit!
So it should be sometime this year, end of the year.
Sometime this year.
So will we like release there or here?
We will have a special release in Isetan, the Japan store, October.
In October, most likely in October.
In October. Yes.
Will it be an event or will it just be like a sort of like a pop-up?
We haven't figured out yet.
Yet.
Maybe we can work something out, you know, to throw an event or something.
I see.
Definitely.
Cool. We're definitely looking forward to check that out, man.
And hopefully more and more collaborations will be
on the way. I see. Okay, thank you very much for talking to us.
Chill bro.
Chill bro.
Before we wrap up, it's like, do you have any advice for like upcoming designers? Although it may sound like damn mainstream, but based on your upcoming yourself, it's like the struggle you've been through, so like what do you want to tell like someone young or upcoming that's trying to go your path?
I think to be in fashion business is not easy. Definitely it's not as easy as we thought. It's not about the money game, it's not about the fame or it's not about
because fashion is a very glossy surface.
Yes.
I think for many young designers or people that I speak to, they kind of tend to forgot to visualize or forgot to how to say that pick between retail and wholesales. So they are very different. These two are very different module. So I think to start a fashion label, you have to understand what you want, what you want to do, and how you're going to do first, and in either retail or wholesales. So once you figure that out, and definitely you have to keep improving, involve yourself, keep on studying. I mean, learning as well.
Just designing, right?
Definitely
the business side of it.
And the
if that's what you
execution
want,
is very important. The execution is very important. I mean, everyone can think of amazing ideas, don't you think so? Like, I can, just pick. Everyone can be throwing crazy ideas on the table, but when it comes to execution, it's very different. Okay, let's make this happen. How? And no one going to do it, or no one want to get their hands dirty, and gets their clothes sweats and things like that.
They don't want to walk up 6 floors.
They don't want to walk up 6 floors.
They want to sleep in the workshop.
So I think have to really start figure out, like, think properly where you want to start first and how you're going to do it.
And then of course it's hard work.
Of course it's
there's
hard
no
work
substitute for hard work in the end of the day.
That's true. And I think like in Malaysia here especially, when you tell your parents, hey, I want to study fashion, I think it's like
it's the same as
don't be crazy.
It's money and not
it's the same as my parents. When I first tell them, it's some more like the fashion. What is that? I don't even know how to explain to them. Like back then, only have Mercedes Fashion Week. Mercedes Fashion Week, where I see Edmund we won the first prize, and now he's then he went to Belgium, which is very very good. Then I still remember I explained to my parents. I said, "Nah, this is the one. You can join the competition, and maybe you design for Mercedes. I simply wear one, you know. and yeah. So I don't even have a very deep research about fashion back then. But I knew I want to do clothing. I have a special feeling or a special how to say, like clothing catch my eyes every time when I see stranger or when I look at. It's not to judge them, but interesting how they wear, or very interesting, or this layer is very interesting. Even you see people from maybe kampong, how they wrap their sarong and things like that. Oh, interesting, like that also can. Yeah. So like during the high school, people wear the jacket. Reverse really, the zip is at the back,
That's true. And now like some designers even do that.
It really got.
Yeah,
like the button stand is behind.
Correct. Yeah. And I think then I think fashion is very it's very joyful. I mean, it's very nice.
Something enjoyable to do.
Enjoyable to do. Yeah. You can just inspired by people mistake or just or not people mistake, but inspired by people dressing wrong or something like that. It can be a very wide and different perspective how you look at things.
I think fashion design as well, like a lot of people forget, is something that works with people the most. I think it works with people the most. Different characters wear different things, right? And likes different things.
Yes, correct.
See, thank you very much for telling us all these things.
Thank you.
And I wish all the best for you guys moving down. And hopefully one day we'll be able to get a chance to go into one of your showcase if you ever have one in KL too.
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. And you guys really exceeded our expectations. Initially, I thought, okay, we're having Joe Chia, bro. I think he's gonna
stress.
You cannot get it right.
It's not working, man.
That's why we had a bit of technical difficulties in the beginning, and I think we all freaking out a little bit. And I honestly thought, okay, we interviewed Joe Chia, so it's like he must be coming in like a ninja, like boom, and then he's here and he's really dark and stuff. Turns out like it was a really good conversation. You were very different from what we thought you are, and we hope in the future we get to collaborate and work in more things and stuff.
Cool.
So once again, this is Isaac and Ben from the Threads, and thank you again, Joe Chia and Melissa, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.